Welcome back! We are in the underwater Harakert station here on Manaan, trying to find a way to the star map as well as a reason for why all the Selkath down here have gone insane. And so far we found a way to get underwater.
Yes? What?
And we also found an environmental suit earlier, so let's try making use of that. Activating airlock control. Engaging airlock seals. Success. Warning, hostile environmental conditions. Environmental suit advised. You only have one enviro suit available. If you proceed through the airlock, all party members will have to stay behind until you return. Yeah, at this point in the game, you have to abandon everyone you're with and go by yourself. So let's go ahead and do that. I hate to leave Bastila and Jolie behind, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Pressurizing airlock chamber, success. Releasing airlock seal, success. And this part of the game is really tedious, because we have to walk around in this environmental suit underwater, and it is slow. I happen to know that that's a dead end. I'm just going to go ahead and go this way. There are a couple mines there, but I'm not going to bother with them. There's somebody else here, though. Let's see what he's got to say.
Who's there? You're not Selkath, I can see that much. Are you another rescue crew?
I'm Kane. The Republic sent us down to investigate.
I'm a merc the Republic hired a couple days ago to investigate. But all we found was a bunch of insane Selkath killing everything that moves. All my companions are dead. The Selkath swarmed over us. There were dozens of them. And they looked wrong, somehow. Like something had changed inside them. Insane or something. Oh, I'd have gone back to the surface long ago if this complex hadn't been overrun by all those crazy Selkath. There's no way for me to get to the submarine docking bay.
So, what are you doing in the underwater section of the facility?
I discovered a way to get to the bay and seal off the rest of the base. I just have to find the Kolto harvester they built on the edge of the Harakert Rift. It's got an emergency override to open the doors to the submarine docking bay. And I could get in from the outside. I figured my only chance was to slap on an environment suit, head out onto the ocean floor, and check that harvester out for myself. Besides, it's gotta be safer out on the ocean floor than back in there with all those crazed Selkath mutants running around looking for dinner.
Okay, and I thought the mercenary that we first met when we got here was pretty overdramatic. I'll come with you.
I'm not spending another minute in this facility. Not with those psychotic fish people all over the place. I'm heading out to the ocean floor right now. It leads to another complex of buildings. Going through them is the only way to reach the Kolto harvester. We should probably stick together, but I won't wait around in here with the Selkath. You can catch up with me if you want. Down the hall and through the doors on the right. I'll be waiting on the ocean floor where it's safe.
I wouldn't say the ocean floor is safe. Didn't we hear about some sharks earlier? Well, let's follow him, and also he's running faster than we are. I want that environmental suit. Thankfully this doesn't take a ridiculously long amount of time, but it is still kind of tedious. In the second game, they actually improved, well, sort of improved the environmental suit sequences, where you can go really fast, but it was way too fast, kind of unrealistically so. And also, I wouldn't go out there.
Hurry up. Don't just stand there, we have to keep moving. The water is filled with cow! Ah!
Yeah. Looks like we're on our own. And honestly, this part of the game kind of creeps me out. No joke. There are these sharks, and you have to move very slowly, and, well, you'll see what I mean. That's not the worst part. If they hit you, you're instantly dead. I'm just making sure that there are no other ones that are coming in from anywhere else. Because I'm not sure if that happens or not, but I want to say it might. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you can never be too careful. Oh no. There we go. And the thing is, if you do it too soon, then you can't use it again for a few seconds, which is bad. And also, I hate the way they're just hanging there. It's just... that really just creeps me out. I don't know, it's just disturbing for some reason. Maybe it's just me. Okay, I'm just making sure there's nobody behind us. Okay. Here, shark. Hey, use it! Oh my goodness. I thought I was gonna die right there. All because my mouse wasn't positioned properly. There we go. Okay, I think we got most of them. Ah. Just unsettling, that's all. Okay, I don't think there are any more, but I'm just gonna look around. I think this is the door we need to go into, if I'm not mistaken. Also, we can level up. Let's go and do that. I like how we're wearing the environmental suit here, too. Alright, skills. How many more times do we have yet to level up? We got 3 more after this. I'm going to take repair up to 20, which I think is the maximum for all skills. I may be wrong on that count, but I think 20 is the max. And we've been granted Force Immunity Paralysis and Master Sense. Let's see what Master Sense does for us. This grants +6 defense versus the +4 defense with Night Sense. Kind of like the droid logic upgrade. And I think I'm going to get Master Critical Strike. Yeah, let's go for that. Powers, definitely Stasis Field. And I'll accept. Alright, let's see what's in here. More Selkath. And there's only one of us this time, so we're gonna have to hopefully do our best against all 3 of them. But they're not too bad. There we go. Alright. Also, there's a Republic soldier's corpse here. What is going on? Where are we now? Walker. 2 walkers. Plasma mines, those are good. People, yay!
No, you can't come in here. You'll let the Firaxa and the Selkath in. No, stay out! Stay out! I won't let you open the door for those monsters to get in. I'll stop you. I'll suck all the pressure out of the chamber. That'll stop you.
Kill them! Kill them now!
You guys are nuts! We killed all the
50
Selkath.
seconds to complete depressurization.
Alright, and what? We've been paralyzed apparently?
54 seconds to complete depressurization.
Okay, let's see if we can stop this. Let's use some spikes to deactivate this. There we go.
No. The Firaxa will get us. No, the Selkath are coming.
The Frets are outside!
No! Ah!
Guys, calm down!
I'm sorry for what I did. I don't know what came over me. I just panicked when I heard someone outside the door. Please forgive me. I'm just so scared.
We're both just scared.
When the Selkath went crazy, I thought everyone else except me and Sammy went mad. We had a few people outside the station when it happened.
The Frax and Sharks just tore them apart. It was like they were frenzied.
The next thing we knew, our Selkath researchers started screaming and clawing at everything around them. My team? My team was torn apart and eaten before my eyes. Sammy and me, I thought we were the only ones left. We heard the Selkath outside the doors every once in a while, and strange noises echoing through the base.
We thought everyone was dead. Dead or insane. I must have been hysterical. I don't know what I can say. I truly apologize for the horrible mistake I was making.
I'm Kono Nolan, and this is Sammy. We were scientists working here on the Harakard Rift project.
You just tried to kill us! Also, Kono Nolan was the guy that Roland asked us to look for, so it looks like we found him. Yeah, you have a lot to answer for.
Look, I'm sorry. I have just been under a lot of strain recently. You know, the whole thing about having my entire research team devoured before my eyes.
Kono, calm down. Don't talk to him like that. We've gone through a lot, and we said we were sorry for the mistake we made.
I'm sorry for my actions, but what are you doing here?
I'm on a mission for the Jedi Council to find pieces of a star. Well, actually, let's tell them about this.
Well, we're not too clear ourselves just exactly what happened.
The work teams were outside in the rift, near the vent. Then there was this rumbling, and my head felt like it was splitting open.
This monster rose up from the rift.
It was a Firaxa shark, I think. Bigger than anything I'd ever seen before. Bigger than our submersibles.
It was like it was screaming inside my head.
Then all the Selkaths started screaming too. And they turned on us.
That's rather odd. So how can a shark do that?
Well, maybe it was protecting the ruins by the rift.
It could have been. It might have a lair in the Harakard Rift near the Kolto vent. That might explain a few things too.
Wait a minute, you're just realizing this now?
I don't know. It seems impossible, but maybe whatever sort of power it used to drive the Selkath insane masked it from us somehow. Maybe it was lying dormant deeper in the rift.
I think it might live there. Live there because of the Kolto.
Maybe. That would explain more. Like, why it reacted so violently when our construction efforts got closer to the vent. And also, why it's so large. It must be feeding off the Kolto. Would have to be ancient indeed for it to reach that size. With Kolto as a food source.
And all those other Firaxan sharks? Those might be its offspring.
Which would be why they all swarmed when it called out to them. Children coming to protect their mother.
Guys, you guys have been stuck here for all this time and you're just figuring this all out now? So, apparently there's a monster Firaxan shark out by the supply of Kolto?
I don't know. It must still be out there.
Out there, waiting for us.
So what can we do about it?
The Firaxan sharks have always been a serious problem. We had some blasters and projectile cannons to defend against them, but they still got some of our workers from time to time.
We were working on a soluble chemical compound that would drive them away. Something that smelled or tasted repulsive to them, but we never got it working right.
Oh, I think not. Even flawed like it is, it should be ideal for this situation.
No, it's not working right. You don't know what it'll do.
What are you talking about?
The repellent we made was supposed to drive Firaxan sharks away, but we never got very far in its development. The one we tested instead was violently toxic to them, rupturing their outer skin in seconds and preventing them from drawing oxygen from the water by clogging their intakes.
Which is exactly what we need in this situation. Something to kill that monster shark that destroyed our station.
But we don't know how else the chemical reacts. We only tried it in a controlled environment. In the open ocean, who knows what it could do? It could even affect the Kolto.
We know exactly what it'll do. It'll kill the shark. That's what we designed it to do.
That definitely sounds like a risky option. Is there any other way we can subdue this shark?
You don't need to do anything else. We have a canister of the toxin here right now. We were working on it before the giant Firaxan drove all the Selkath insane. All you need to do is insert it into the main Kolto harvester and have it vented. Get away as soon as you can. We don't know how much worse it'll affect the giant Firaxan shark.
But what other choice do we have, though? Because I don't really want to vent this toxin into the rift. Well, it certainly seems like it would kill the giant shark. I would prefer if we didn't do something that could affect the water supply or the colto supply or anything else.
Well, the monster seems to have been driven out by the machinery we installed at the edge of the rift. We've seen it out there on the cameras, bashing itself against the machines. I think if you could destroy the machinery we installed, the shark would calm down and retreat back into its lair inside the rift.
That definitely sounds like a better option. At least it's more preferable to actually killing the shark. I mean, I don't really see what harm this shark is doing.
You can reprogram the harvesting machines to overpressure their self-oxidizing fuel so that the fuel tank canisters will rupture and the entire machine will destroy itself. The hydrolium gas we use is a gas at 1 to 3 million sangin, a liquid at about 4 million sangin, and a solid above that. When it's a liquid, it's very explosive. If you inject enough of the hydrolium gas into the tank, the pressure will be so great that it'll turn to liquid form and start a chain reaction inside the machine.
But we'll lose everything we've built here. All those years of work.
It's better than whatever your chemical will do to the water.
Yeah. So we have to make a choice here, and I'm going to go with destroy the harvesting machine. And I should qualify what I said earlier. When I said that I don't see what harm the shark is doing, I mean, I don't really see what harm it's doing outside of driving the Selkath crazy, and it sounds like it's got a reason for doing that that has to do with this machine. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this option, and there's other reasons why I'm choosing this, which I'll explain later.
Good. Destroying the machinery will be better in the long run. We can't risk damaging the environment or the colto. You'll have to break into the computer on the harvesting machine and fiddle with the fuel injectors to get the tank pressure up to the point where the hydrolium will liquidize. Once the machinery is gone, the shark should leave.
That won't work, and you know it. We have to vent the toxin from the harvesting machine. Once the shark is dead, we can get back to mining the colto. You know what you have to do.
I just hope you make the right choice.
I think we can still make either choice, despite the fact that we just picked that one in the conversation for them, but you know which choice I'm going to make. Let's see what they've got here. More Selkath. Let's try out Stasis Field. Sweet! You got a fishy little war cry there. Alright. 400 XP, always a good thing. Okay, that wasn't so bad. 4 is a lot, but when it's enemies like... Whoa. When it's enemies like these, it's not such a bad thing. 4 computer spikes. I guess that's if we use the computer spikes there on the... depressurization thing. But there's nothing more to see over here, so let's go ahead and head out to this harvester. Which I think is beyond this door. And back out into the ocean we go. More sharks. Great. Is this a different... Yeah, this is a different map than the one we were looking at earlier. Whoa. Good grief. The ones over here are finding us a lot more easily. Okay. That's where we need to go. I'm just making sure there are no other sharks, and it doesn't look like there are. I thought they were going to take a little longer to find us than that amount of time. Is that the monster shark there dead ahead? It certainly looks bigger than the other ones. Well, let's check out this control panel. So So we get our choice here. We can feed the toxin into the vents, or we can try our hand at the pressure control. And we can try this hydrolium thing. And we need to get it to 4 million Sangen. Now, what you have to do here, basically, is... This is kind of a transfer puzzle, kind of like the ones in Nancy Drew, the Deadly Device, where you have to get liquid from one thing to another using different measuring containers. And the injector pod has 3, while the container pod has 5. So let's fill the injector pod first. So we got 3 out of 3, whereas the container pod has 0 of 5 right now. Yeah, let's transfer from one to the other. Alright, so now the container pod is at 3 out of 5, and we need 4 out of 5 in the fuel injector pod, I think. I can't exactly remember now that I think about it. So let's fill the injector pod again. Wait, no, it is the container pod, so we need 4 million Seng in one of them, and we can't do that in the injector pod, so it's the container pod. Let's transfer those, because we can do 2 more. Okay, so now we've got 5 out of 5 million in the container pod, and 1 out of 3 million in the injector pod. Whoops. Alright. I kind of forgot how to do this. There we go. 5 out of 5. Let's dump the injector pod. Okay, now let's transfer from the container to the injector, and now we got 2 out of 5 million there, and 3 of 3 over there. I forgot how to do this puzzle. Hang on a sec. I feel like this should be really easy, but I just can't remember for the life of me. Get the status again. This is 3 of 3 on the injector and 2 of 5 in the container. Let's dump the injector. And then let's transfer those over. Yeah, this is it. Let's fill the container pod. And then now, let's dump... Or let's transfer from the container to the injector. That should do it. There we go. Error, harvester malfunction. Good, this is what I was hoping for. Emergency shutdown initiated. Failure. Warning, container pod unstable. Evacuate immediately. I think we got it. And boom goes the machinery. Alright. We took care of that, and the shark should leave. In fact, it went over there now. That's good to know. And it looks like the star map is right up ahead. Sea Beast, they call it. Interesting, though, because earlier we, let's see, now that the Kolto harvesting machine has been destroyed, the Great Firaxin shows no signs of hostility. It allows you to pass. Earlier on Kashyyyk, Jolie made a comment about how the star map, which is apparently an artifact of dark side power, aided in the evolution of all the plants and flora and fauna there. And on Tatooine, I think it was Bastila who mentioned that the star map, or I think it may have been Canderous or somebody, mentioned that the star map and the Krayt Dragon were in the same place, and that probably was not a coincidence. And it would seem that here we also got a very powerful creature that lives right by this star map, and it seems like the star map might have had a role to play in the development of that creature. It's all very interesting. Well, we've got what we've come for, so let's go ahead and head home. Thankfully, we've pretty much wrapped up everything here now. We now know why the Republic sent out the mercenaries. We now know why the Selkath went insane. Apparently this Fraxen shark is capable of emitting sounds that do that or something like that, but hopefully with it driven away from here, maybe it can go back somewhere where it won't do that to the Selkath or other creatures that are down here. And I desperately hope we don't have to face any more of those crazy sharks on the way back. I really don't like them. I also really don't like going in this environmental suit either. So let's review what we need to do when we get back. We need to go and talk to Shayless and the other Selkath who was hiring us to look into why the Republic was hiring mercenaries. There are those sharks. Ugh. And there's also a shop I'd like to visit, but we're going to do that in the next video when we take care of our equipping stuff, so I'll save that for then. Other than that, though, I don't think there's too much else left to do. And this door we have not been through yet. Let's see where this goes. This is taking a rather long time to save. There we go. Come on, a little farther. A little bit. There you go. Alright, we're back with our group. It looks like we're back in the area that this hallway led to. Because remember, that door right there was the one that we couldn't get through. And I think if we had visited this place earlier, we couldn't go through this airlock. It would have been impossible to open it from that side. Another patrol droid, but we don't really need to worry about it. Plasma grenade. Deadly gas mine. I don't want to mess with that. Unfortunately, none of us have...
Poison. I can feel it.
There we go. None of us have demolitions, which is a bummer. Alright. Let's head home. Also, we still get to check out this one area here. Security panel, what does this do? I don't think we really have anybody with computer use, so I'm not really going to waste spikes on that. I think that just allows you to see into all the rooms, and I think there might be some rooms where you can kill some of the Selkath. Also, it would have been this hallway, I believe, where you would have faced Darth Bandon if we had not gone to Kashyyyk earlier. And I think our mercenary friend has left. Hopefully he's alright. Alright, time to go back into the submersible. Submersible? I want to call it a submarine. Submarine! Let's use it to ascend to Otto City. Ah, back on the surface. Glad to be out of there. Still, like I said earlier, the designers did a really great job of developing the atmosphere there quite nicely and building it up to a very creepy vibe. Roland!
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility?
Yes, the Selkath went insane.
Insane? What did they do? And why?
They killed almost everyone on the station.
They killed everyone? And the mercenaries we sent later? It's horrible. What caused them to all go insane at once like that?
Well, your colto harvesting construction woke something up.
Something was down there? Living in the rift by the colto?
A gigantic Fraxen shark that drove them all insane.
It's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any survivors?
Well, a few scientists have survived.
Well, that's good to know. Good to know indeed. But what has happened to the facility? Was it damaged?
Well, the harvesting machine was destroyed.
No, that is terrible. That will set our work back years. It may even cost us the war. While I am glad that you were able to solve our problems, the cost may have ended up being much too high. But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And for that I thank you. Oh, and did you end up finding your star map?
We did.
As you can see, by helping us, you helped yourself. Perhaps we can work together again in the future.
Alright. Well, let's go ahead and go to that cantina and bid a fond farewell to the Republic Embassy. Doors closed. Oh no. Not again. You guys and your detonation detecting. It's practically a police state here. Oh, here we go again. Very well. I will come peacefully. Maybe we can tell him about this gigantic shark. This has nothing to do with that. Well, if anything, we actually helped maintain your neutrality, because now the Republic doesn't have an advantage with their machinery. Wait, that's Dula, isn't it? Didn't they say they didn't like him earlier? The explosions at the research station, both are governments set up there. Well, the machinery had woken up a gigantic Fraxon shark. Could it be? Wait, a legend? What are they talking about? No, I didn't say I killed it. I destroyed the machinery to save it. Whoops. Basically, the shark is something that's helped to bring about life here in Manaan, it looks like. Interesting. So the shark apparently provides the colto. Interesting. Well, that's good enough. Alright, well, I'm glad we got that straightened out. And now we know what the shark is, which is good. Let's see, is this the area with the... Yeah, it is the area with the bar. Before we go there, though, I wanted to mention what would happen if you chose the other option, the poisoning the water supply, so you could kill the shark. Well, for one thing, poisoning the water supply would kill the shark, and the judges would find out about it because you would have to tell them about the shark, and they would react in the same way, saying that's a progenitor and all that, and they would not be very happy that you killed the shark. But even more than that, though, is that you would actually end up, as the female scientist had warned you, affecting the colto and just how, the quality of the colto, shall I say, and because of that, med packs everywhere will go up in price, and that is definitely not a good consequence, especially if you want to buy med packs. Also, you'll be permanently banned from Manaan. You can never come back to the planet again. Once you leave the court, you will be back in the Ebon Hawk, and you cannot set foot on Manaan ever again. So, yeah, that seemingly innocuous decision carries far more weight if you choose to poison the water supply, and it is not a good option. Let's tell Nilko here about what the mercenaries were doing. They're sending them down to a secret base on the Hrakert Rift.
You think the Republic is trying to steal the Kolto, perhaps? An odd thing for the Republic to do, no?
Well, they couldn't. They lost contact with the facility. Well, thankfully we took care of this. This is kind of another one of those conversations that's a little bit awkward at this point in the game. Indeed. Well, they woke a creature which fed on the Kolto. Creature is alive. I think everything will turn out okay, at least for now. Alright, we got 500 credits for that. And let's talk to Selkath. Well, I'd hope that your daughter would come back and actually go to you after she escaped from the Sith base. I have information for you, Selkath. The Sith are training the Selkath youth in the ways of the Dark Jedi. Exactly. And this is the point where you could tell him the fate of his daughter. Like I said, I wonder why she hasn't come back to him yet. I hope so too. Thanks, Shayless. Alright, 500 more credits. And I think we've done pretty much everything we need to do here in Manaan. We still have these other quests that we need to do on the other planets that we have left unfinished, as well as the personal ones. Bastila, there's really nothing to do with her right now as far as like a side quest like the one with her mother. It's just the storyline involving her. Looks like we can still talk to Juhani and I believe Candace about stuff, and of course HK-47 we can repair more. Jolie, though, is the one that's still has yet a lot to tell us, so we're going to have to talk to him here in the future. But for now, we're done on Manaan. We've got 4 out of the 5 star maps, but before we continue onward, I'm going to go ahead and do another video dedicated to talking to people, equipping my crew, and selling and buying items, so we'll take care of that next time.